Welcome back, Thomas fans. Thanks for joining us for the 16th installment of our Thomas & Friends Diecast Custom Showcase. We'd like to begin today by saying
thank you
for helping us reach 500 subscribers. So to celebrate, we have a special custom model to share with you today. Hey, who's that coming down the tracks?
Flying Scotsman.
That's right. Designed by Sir Nigel Gresley, the Class A3 number 4472 Flying Scotsman is a real-world Pacific steam locomotive built at Doncaster Works in February of 1923 by the London and North Eastern Railway, or LNER. As depicted in the Railway series and Thomas & Friends, he's the last of Gordon's brothers to survive the ultimate decline of steam in Britain. Flying Scotsman has been described as the world's most famous steam locomotive. It was originally employed on the East Coast Main Line, pulling long-distance express trains, most notably the London to Edinburgh Flying Scotsman service, after which it's named. During its service, the Flying Scotsman set 2 world records. First, for becoming the first steam locomotive to officially reach 100 miles per hour on November 30th, 1934. And second, for making the longest non-stop run by a steam locomotive when it ran 422 miles on August 8th, 1989, while in Australia. As well as hauling enthusiast specials in the United Kingdom, the locomotive toured extensively in the United States and Canada from 1969 until 1973, and in Australia from 1988 to 1989. Retired from regular service in 1963 after covering more than 2 million miles, Flying Scotsman further enjoyed considerable fame under the preservation of many different owners. He was ultimately bought by the National Railway Museum in York, where he remains under preservation to this day. Flying Scotsman came to Sodor in 1967 to cheer up his only surviving brother, Gordon. During his visit, he got on well with most of the Fat Controller's engines and took charge of pulling the Limited in place of Bear. Gordon was happy to see Flying Scotsman, who provided he and the others some reassurance at a time when steam on the mainland was officially being abolished in favor of more modern diesel engines. Much later, Flying Scotsman met Thomas at Vickerstown Station, where he told him and Gordon about the Great Railway Show on the mainland. He competed in the Great Race alongside Gordon, Spencer, Axel, and Etienne, and placed 4th after Gordon's boiler burst. To make our custom take-and-play Flying Scotsman, we started with a 2009 take-and-play Talking Gordon, and we chose this engine because of the exceptional face it has. Out of all the Gordon faces available to choose from, we feel like this one is the best representation of what the Flying Scotsman would look like as a take-and-play model. We simply used a black Sharpie to fill out his eyebrows a little bit more, and that's that. It was also very easy to take apart, which makes for a much nicer paint job. After disassembling the model, we used masking tape to carefully mask off the cab roof. We also masked off the chassis to keep its original black color, as well as the running board, in order to paint the piston housings which are connected to it. And then we added a few even coats of a gloss emerald green made by Krylon to the boiler and the cab section, as well as the wheels and the pistons. For the lining, we first used a black Sharpie to color the banding black. We then used decals from a generic racetrack set and cut the white lining very thinly, applying it to either side of the boiler banding. We also added white striping to the wheel wells and the sides of the cab. To make Flying Scotsman's second lamp, we used a rubber tip from a wire clothes hanger cut to fit alongside his smoke box brace and his wheel well. The smoke deflectors are made from the base of a small plastic railroad sign cut in half and glued onto either side of the smoke box. For Flying Scotsman's tenders, we used the tenders from a take-and-play Caitlin and Connor. Once again, masking off any parts that we didn't want painted, we used the gloss emerald green spray paint, as well as a bit of black acrylic and brush to paint the corridor entrance at the back of his water tender. And finally, we used Microsoft Paint to make up some decals for the LNER, his nameplates, and the numbers on his cab and tender. And with a final coat of clear acrylic, the job was done. And there you have it, Thomas fans. Take and play Flying Scotsman. We hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button below and feel free to leave any comments in the comments section. And most importantly, If you want to see more great customs and other great content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications. And until next time,
We'll see you on Sodor.